everybody. Goddess Belle here. I have a puppy cam now, or pet cam. So this is Jasmine. She's a mutt, and at the moment it looks like she's not really interested in saying hi. So maybe she'll get a treat later and decide to turn around. This is my second stream. Today we're gonna do a little bit of ARK. Um, I've been playing on a server for a little while now, so my house is already built, and we've got a bunch of animals that we're breeding, so it's pretty much already said and done. But yeah, I figured I'd let you guys come with me and see what it looks like. So let's head over to that. All right, so this is the outside of the house that I share with a couple of members of my tribe. So I built this one, but I did go on YouTube and find some ideas. So let's start off. So here's the outside. You can see kind of the front with some of our dinos there. And I'll take you inside so you can see where everything is. And here's kind of the backyard that we did and the fence that I made. See if I can get down here without hurting myself. There we go. So when you go in this back door here, we've got our kind of our animal pens. So it's where I'm doing a lot of breeding for the smaller animals. And here's some more breeding here. We don't have a whole lot down here. It was kind of a accidental basement almost. So we've got a cryopod fridge here, the spark lights, owl, dimorphodons, hawks, some more spark lights, more cryo fridges. Over here is our hatchery where we it collects the fertilized eggs, and it looks like I have some Rex eggs to hatch, so we might do a couple of that. And then it's more kind of like storage area down here. And then the door to the front is actually right here. So that's that big door that you saw from the front. Looks like the lights are turning on, so it must be nighttime. We're getting there. So I have you coming up the steps, and here's a little living room area. The chandelier. And then I created this room right here for one of the tribe mates. So she's got a bed and a chest and a couple of rugs and a string of lights because she's actually a teenager in real life. So then she's got her own little patio here. So it's got great views, I gotta say, with the waterfall. And then you go back through her room, and there's a dining room type of area. This table is really too big for the space, but there aren't a lot of table ideas that they have. It's not like Sims, where you have a lot of different selections. So then here we've got a chemistry bench, bookshelf, desk, and there's a door right here that's a little bathroom. So, and you can actually use the bathroom, which I think is really funny in this game. So then we've got another like patio area, which is the same as the other side. And then a kitchen. And here's where I do mostly like taking the eggs and making kibble so that we can tame new dinos. So then we come back through here, we go up the steps, and this is the master bedroom kind of area. So this is a closet, some storage, head this way, and there's a couple of chests. The bathtub is up here because I couldn't fit it downstairs, and a fireplace. And we've got a doorway here that has a little like porch patio with a view of the waterfall. And that's basically the main house. So we've got a building over there. I don't know if you can see it really well. There we go. So the building over there is where we have our what's called Andrews. They have a longer name, but I hate using it. Over here, the rock drakes, I believe. And here's our little kind of garden area that we've got. Mostly we just built this so that we'd have lots of vegetables and stuff to do recipes with. And our dung beetle. And let's see. Then the rest of the tribe area is on the other side of this purple tree. We've got a giant turtle. And we have a lot of tech stuff. So the tribe overall is fairly high level, I believe. Most of us are at least level 100. Let's see. So I'm level 101 and I probably play the least out of everybody. So you level up by building, by crafting, all kinds of stuff. So we've got our gotchas up there and a lot of our flyers that we use to ride. I don't know if there's really anything over there. Oh, you can change your appearance in this little doorway through here. There's a thing where you can change what you look like. And an example of that is actually like me. So I've got wings and stuff that normally you don't see on an ARK character, but we've got something like 21 mods on this server. So it's almost like cheating, really. So in here's kind of the craft area where we do crafting. This is our incubator. So I'll bring some of those Rex eggs over here and put them in the incubator and they'll hatch like immediately. So we can take a look at what some of the Rexes look like. There's another garden over here and we've got sheep for meat and a barn and all kinds of pretty much animal containment areas for whatever reason. These guys are so cute. They're just so cute. I don't know why, they just are. But I think it's if you feed them element, they rage and get all big and scary. It's kind of cool. You can ride them when they're all big. I think you can ride them. Don't hold me to it. I'm not sure. But yeah, so then there's a barn here that I think they just put a lot of the extra dinos that we're not really using for anything important. Like for breeding and whatnot. And close that up. We did have, okay, so there's another tribe mates building is right here. That's where he lives. There's another one over here. We've had a few people that were in the tribe that they built their house initially here and then they've moved to other locations since then. Pretty much just because they want to be on their own. It's fine. We're kind of just the main base is all. But of the buildings that I built the house here, I built that garden, and I built the Andrew pin up here. This was kind of an interesting build because I was just messing around with stuff, and I actually think I like it. Because the roof is really weird. It is a very bizarre roof. Oh. Somebody was here and they weren't supposed to be. It's a bizarre roof, but like inside, it's pretty spacious for the most part. And these are the Andrews. They're huge. So ultimately, I think I need to build a bigger space, or we need to what we call Pokeball them. The cryopod things. You can put them in the cryopod, and the cryopod, it goes in the fridge. So that's why we call it Pokeballing. I don't know if everybody uses that term or not. Ah, lag. And lag can be deadly in this game, especially if you've got the mods where you like fly and stuff like that. But there's fish, there's crocodiles, there's all kinds of creatures in here. Let's see. Okay, so I'm not sure if we're actively really breeding anybody at the moment, aside from the Rex. And pretty much we're just doing the Rex so that we can have a nice little army for when it's time to do kind of like what we call a raid. So when most of our tribe mates are on, we'll log in and we'll go to a boss and we'll fight the boss. And so they want a nice selection of Rexes and Dimorphodons to help us win those battles. I'm going to go in here and put this saddle in here because I don't know why I have it to begin with. It's a raptor saddle. I must have picked it up at some point, but not since I last played. And this thing is really weird looking. It kind of looks like a mix between a bear and a cat, like a panda and a cat or something. It's very weird. And then, of course, I love the sabers, which she doesn't have a saddle, so we can't ride her at the moment. Let's see, get it so that we can actually see again. Yeah, mostly you can't fly in here unless you're riding a flying animal or you've got the tech gear that gives you flight, which I'm not sure if that's base game or if that's a mod. But like I said, because we've got so many mods, that's the only reason that I can fly without the extra stuff. It makes it a lot easier to play the game so that if I were to fall off a cliff, for example, I won't necessarily die. So, and that does happen sometimes. We have these, it's called a skiff out here. Let me see if I can get closer to one of them. So we can ride on the skiff and the person driving it, see like this one? The person driving it will be the only one who's like secured in place. And possibly the shooters. It just depends. If the driver were to like go up against a wall or a cave or something, then there's a good chance you're getting kicked off. So having that flying capability is amazing. Okay, let's see, 36, 37, 41. Okay. These all look like they would be great for the army, quote unquote army. So basically we're just looking at stats. The plus sign there, that's the health. The stamina, which is next to it, and then just below stamina is the fist. That's attack damage, basically. So these guys have been bred massively to the point where they're at almost max for all the stats that you can have when they're born. That makes it easier because then we don't have to sit there and just level up and level up and level up, and it won't be as potent if it's a wild tame and you level it up than if it's born that way. I need more cryopods. Do I have any in here? this is our breeding fridge. So all of our breeding dinos we kind of put in here. This one's the ones that are done, growing up and whatnot. Okay, let's see. Rex. Let's see how many we've got. We've got... And these guys, I actually label them so that if one dies, we know and we can determine which one it was that died. So that when we do more breeding, we can, you know, replace that one. Let's see. It looks like I've got... I think I see 11. 13 is the highest. 13, 13. Nope, no, I see a 14. So 14. Okay, so I need to start at CDA 15. I actually keep a spreadsheet on Google to make it a little easier so that I know, okay, how many do we have? What are their names? I just don't have it open right now. Otherwise, I could have easily just looked over and gone, oh, we need 15 through whatever. Sometimes we do end up with multiple births. That can be interesting. It's funny when you just want like one dino and you get triplets and you're freaking out. Okay. So here's our first one. So for every new hatch, you need to claim it. Otherwise, it will die. Or if you have like the kind of situation that we have at this base, any dinos that aren't owned by somebody will get attacked. So we generally have to be on when anything is live birth, just because of that. We've had it a couple of times where a live birth happened and nobody was on, or they came on a few minutes later, and the baby still died because nobody was taking care of it. Okay, so that one I put in a cryopod. Let's see if we end up with any twins today. Okay, 16. So this is the cryopod. It looks like this in my hand here. And you just point and click and it'll put them in the pod. And then when we go back to the main house, what I'm going to do is I'll pop them out. I'll set them free basically. And we've got a nanny, and the nanny will take care of it until it's an adult. Okay. So this takes a little bit of time sometimes, especially if I've got a lot of them. But for the most part, it's really quick. Let's see. Where was I? 15, 16, 17, so 18. I do a different kind of naming process when it's for breeding, or if it's just for, like, if it's something that we're keeping. Because these guys, they're basically like cannon fodder, so we don't really care about the name. 19? Is that where I'm at? I'm terrible at remembering sometimes. And if it's a double name, it's fine. You can go back later and rename it. There's a lot of times where we have a dino and we name it a certain thing, and then we decide, oh, I don't want to keep that for whatever reason, and you can name it something else. You can also kill it. It used to be that you were forced to unclaim it and then you could kill it, but now they've got things like the euthanasia gun where you can just kill it outright that way. Okay. these guys out, and then they can mature and be put in the big fridge. Where'd it go? There it is. Stop ending up over here, please. Okay, so they're all out. So we've got this right here. Normally they don't lie down. Like, I don't know what the deal is with it lately, but they lie down. So they've got food. These are the nannies. They take care of all the babies, which this one actually doesn't have any meat. And that can be a problem. So, let's see if we can get, like, all of this one. There we go. Looks like we might have to get... Might have to log on at some point and, basically go hunting type of thing. Oh, there's quite a bit here. Maybe this one's close enough. Is it? No, wasn't close enough. Okay. So, sometimes depending on proximity, you need to, I would need to move closer to something and just kind of go from there. Oh, I almost forgot. Popped them all out and then I forgot to do the settings. Okay, so each of these, we have to change the settings to passive or else they'll like take off and go wherever they want. And we really don't want them to do that. Okay. Now they won't just take off. Well, we've got the large fence, so they wouldn't do that anyway, technically. But, sometimes they do. It just depends. Because, like, when we had them all out here, there's another nanny over here. And at the Andrew place, there's a nanny. So, with the nanny that's over here, because they're all out in the open, and there's no, like, yard fence, if something wild were to fly by, they would become aggressive towards it, and they would try and chase it. So sometimes that means, you know, falling off this cliff over here, or just ending up in a corner somewhere weird. And so it's just easier to put them on passive so that they don't do that. Okay. Just pull some mutton from over here. I don't know what's going on there, but there's a lot of dinos over there. When there's so many that all you see is like a cloud of green, that's a lot. Okay. Get some mutton on her. That'll make it easier. Because see, she automatically puts food on these guys. See, I didn't put food on it. She auto puts the food on it. So as long as she's got a power source, which before we had the high-tech stuff, her power source is basically honey, I believe. Get it to open. Yeah, so the giant bee honey, which is why we had the honey hive over by the garden there. And let's see. I don't think there's any dinos I need to kill right now. I was thinking I might do a slaughter just to let you guys see it. It can be kind of bloody though. Maybe another time. I don't think I'm going to kill anything right now. We'll do that some other time. Let's see. And I might end up going over to Sims because I don't have a whole lot to do over here right now. I guess I could do some breeding here. Where's my mail? There he is. I can enable mating here. So when you've got mating enabled on two dinos that can mate, these little hearts kind of show up above the trough symbol. So ones that can mate will have a pink heart. So if there's like one male, one female, they'll each have a pink heart saying that they can breed. And then if they're near a feeding trough of some kind, which we have inside the house, then this little like rectangular feeding trough will appear. And then above that is the red hearts that are like flashing. That means they're actively breeding right now. Okay, so I'll have those guys on breeding. And yes, they have unicorn, which I think is so cool. I can show you some of the dinos that I've got that are mine, quote unquote mine. Let's see here. See, there's rock drakes. These don't have a name. Whose are they? I don't know if they're part of the breeding program. If they are, then they're in the wrong fridge, in which case I'll just cry a little bit inside. Okay. I'm gonna take out the fire wyvern. That's a shadow mane. It's not like the prettiest shadow mane. I mean, it's still pretty. But, we'll just do those two for the moment. And I will pull out. I'm gonna get out of this yard area first because the wyvern is kind of big. Yeah, there's great views in this game. There are great views. Let's pop this one out. Okay, so this is my wyvern, one of my wyverns. It's kind of pretty. But you can see how massive the wyvern is. It's really big. Okay. So you can see how big I am compared to how big the wyvern is. But let's see. Oh, some levels. Wow, lots of levels. Okay. Let's put a lot of it in damage. And we'll do some in stamina. And we'll do some in weight. Maybe do some more in damage. I'm kind of a chicken, so I like my dinos to have a lot of damage capabilities so that they can protect me. So I don't die. So you can see flying around. Now, ARK does have a what we call a roof. So if you fly too high, it will knock you down. It also has walls, so that if you go too far in one direction, it'll kind of boost you back in to where you're supposed to be. So hitting map or hitting M brings up your map. And for some reason mine's kind of blurry and I don't know why, but it could be because I'm on the wyvern. So I'll get off. Pokeball him. Now in this game you definitely get thirsty and hungry. So my quick bar is 8 and 9 for eating and drinking. You can see on the lower right, there's my health at the very bottom, stamina, food, water, weight capacity, and then level. So when I level up, that up arrow will flash yellow. Let's pull out the Shadow Mane. Okay, so there's the Shadow Mane. This one's kind of base. They're all green, I think. Like this blue-green. It's okay. But, so you can see, like, when you get on an animal, on the upper right, you can kind of see it. The pet cam is in the way. But it has their health, stamina, food, level, weight, and sometimes they'll have other stuff that's like important to them. These guys are really cool though. The Shadow Mane's really neat because it just goes so fast. And I think it's if you hold down the spacebar. Yeah. You can shoot across the map. These guys, you can almost fall down a hill and or a mountain and it won't hurt you. But they're water creatures. You wouldn't think so because they look like a cat, but they're water creatures. So they do really well underwater. Kind of freaks me out a little bit sometimes, but and then they do a bunch of other stuff too, but I'm not super experienced in them. I generally just stay at the house and do building and like breeding. So the goal is to do more playing with the shadow manes and the wyverns and actually going to places and caves and stuff, but I get so jumpy when I'm by myself. It is not a good idea. So that's something I need to kind of practice more with my tribe and just get used to it. Get a drink. Okay, now let's see if I can look at my map. Yeah, it's still doing weird stuff. I just don't know. But usually it'll be all blurry for the whole map when you first log in, and then after you explore, it'll clear up places where you've been. So it's a fun game. It definitely appeals to multiple personalities there. Because I've got one kid that likes to just go out and explore, and I've got another kid that likes to just build like I do. And then the same for my spouse and I. So this one, Viper, he's the spouse. So he does a lot of the exploring and killing stuff, and he'll bring resources back so that I can build stuff, or so I can do more breeding, or whatever the case is. Oh, hello! How are you doing? I'm not ignoring you! I'm just not used to, you know, like, having to look over all the time. I was just talking about ARK and how fun it is. And you should start playing it too. You know you want to. I can't see what those emojis are. They're so itty bitty on my screen. And yes, we're well. I hope you're doing good. I haven't seen you in forever. We'll go over to chatting. There we go. Get used to it. This is only my second stream. You're expecting a little too much, I think. Did you see the Jasmine cam or the pet cam? That's Jasmine, our puppy. Well, she's not really a puppy. She's a couple years old now. Hi, did I say your name? You want a treat? Do you want a treat? Come here. Sit. Good girl. Yeah. Oh, I can't see you now. You're just so big. She's a big dog, kinda. And so when she sits, you just can't see her. There you go.